replacing a running back like you are this year, as well as a quarterback for other reasons. I mean, are you excited about what you're seeing so far in the guys who are maybe next in line?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited about our team. We got a lot of pieces back. Losing Bryson Daly was certainly that kid was a great player and meant a lot to our program, a lot to our team. Kanye Udo, his contributions as a running back, 1,000-yard rusher. We got some key guys on the offensive line that are going to be as hard to replace as Bryson Daly. And guys on defense, guys that are rugged and tough and started for many years. Max DiDomenico, what he meant to our team. Kyle Lewis, what he meant to our team. Cody Winokur as a captain. We lost some key elements on that side as well, but there's some good players coming back. And so hopefully the pieces that we got coming back with the guys that we've developed, that it doesn't mean that we can't be as successful. We won't be the same, and we might have to do things differently, but it doesn't mean we can't be as successful.
I love those conversations that you have. You've been there long enough now that you've seen former players progress on and off the field in a number of different capacities. And so is it, it's not a hard sell to try to say, where that degree could take you if you stick it out.
For sure.
Yeah.
A West Point degree, an association with West Point, whether it's as a cadet or as a professor, as a coach, to be associated with West Point is really special. But what it does for our graduates and the opportunities that they have, the West Point degree, service in the military, that uniqueness of that life experience, they parlay that into some really incredible opportunities and the accomplishments of our long gray line of our graduates. I mean, it's as good as anywhere in the country. So it's not an easy sell. It's a hard sell to say that you're going to come to a military school. You have to wear a uniform every day. There's professional standards. There's limitations on, your freedom to go home and to go out and to be a typical traditional college student. It's not the same. That's not an easy sell. But once they get there and they realize the things that can happen for them in their lifetime because of that commitment, it's really incredible. And I think ultimately that's why they choose to come to our school. They could go other places, not always as a Division I football player. A lot of our guys come to West Point because it's an opportunity to play Division I football, and that's enough to get them to West Point. But while they're there, they do discover and realize the great opportunity that it is to have a West Point degree and be associated with that brand.
We're looking forward, but just taking one step back last year, the bounce back the way the guys did in the bowl game, I think it's tremendous. It's obviously the game of the year was a few weeks earlier, but certainly for the guys coming back, does that give them a little bit of a boost? You think a bowl performance like that?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, every team's different. Our guys did a great job last year. Certainly a sense of pride in winning the conference championship, going to a bowl game. But there's a game in December every year that we got to win, and we didn't win that game. And so there's a level of disappointment and discontentment with what last season was because of that game, and that's just the nature of that rivalry. So we've got to find a way to be competitive enough and try to play for a championship and win a championship in the American again, and then the next week be competitive enough to win that game. And so that's my responsibility. I didn't do a very good job of that with our team last year, and so I got to do a better job of that this year.
I remember talking with General Clark before last season about, is there a path to the playoffs for a service academy? I think Air Force had it 2 years ago. They got off to a great start. I mean, you look at your team last year in November, you were on that path still. It's very much it's a possibility, and maybe that wasn't the case before the expansion.
I think so, and I think once the playoffs expanded, we had to have a pathway to the playoff to be relevant. And we weren't going to have a pathway to the playoff if we weren't in the conference. So we had to join a conference, and we were really proud and excited to join this conference. This is the best, whatever you want to call it, group of 6 outside the autonomy conferences or schools. This is the best league, and to be able to have a season like we did and be in position to do that. We played Notre Dame on a Saturday night at Yankee Stadium. They beat the pants off of us. But had we beaten them and then found a way to win the rest of the games and win the championship, we probably would have been the representative of the group of 5, and so there is a pathway, and it's hard to do, but hopefully maybe we can find our way back into the conversation again.
Final question, Coach. I know you don't control the schedule. He plays on in front of you and the buys and everything, but I feel like you have the home game and then tough top 25 road game week 2, and then the bye week. Feel like you'll have a fairly good idea about where the team's at going into the conference play?
I have no idea.
Okay,
and I don't know if I'll have an idea then.
Yeah.
Tarleton State's very talented. They got a good football team, playoff team at the FCS level. I coached FCS ball for a long time, and there's some of those teams that we played with and played against that I know could beat FBS teams. And they're one of them. They're a good team. They'll beat our butts if we're not ready. So I feel like it's a challenging opener, and then having to go to Manhattan, Kansas, and play what I consider a really tough, physical, well-coached football team, talented team. And they're going to be top 15 in the country preseason. They're a good football team. I don't know if I'll know at that point just where we stack up. Just week after week, we've got to have our team prepared. Our guys have to play well, and we got to play fundamentally sound football. And that's the brand and the style of football we play. If we're going to be any good, we got to just be tough, determined, and not make mistakes, and be good blockers and tacklers. And sounds really boring, but that wins football games.
Exactly.